Welcome to Appalachian Expose. I'm the franchise Shane Douglas, and I say this every week about how much I enjoy having these people on the show. This one is really a special thing because we get a chance to talk about stuff. The person next to me has no reason to be introduced, but I will out of respect. The Queen of Extreme, Miss Francine.
Deuces. Deuces, yo. So happy to be here.
Yeah, so like I was telling you, this is the first time, you know, early in your career and you're going on the road, jumping in with whoever, and these are the conversations you have, right? So let's get right into it. What brought Francine Fournier to professional wrestling? I mean, no disrespect, but like you weren't quite the type of girl that I had usually seen in wrestling prior to that time.
No.
So,
no.
Like, what happened to get this chickie babe to say, "Hey, this is pretty cool"?
So I've said this before. I was never a wrestling fan growing up. Shocker. Didn't want to be a professional wrestler. I didn't want anything to do with the business. I just wanted to find a good man and settle down and have babies early. I always wanted like 5 kids. So
Thank you for joining us for Appalachian Expose this week.
Seriously, my dream was to be a mom.
Yeah.
Growing up, I wanted to be a mom. That's what I aspired to do. I never wanted to be a career woman, you know. Mm-hmm. And if I had to get a job, I wanted to be a nursery school teacher. Well, when I graduated high school, I didn't want to go to college. So I got a job right away at a life insurance company. Started in the mailroom, worked my way up. I was a data processor. And I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I was in a cubicle and just didn't like it. And at that time, I started watching wrestling, and I watched
which wrestling?
So I watched Global, and I watched WWF,
sure,
because everybody did back then, you know.
Now, you're living in Delaware at this time.
No, I was living in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Born and raised in Philly, go Eagles, and so. Or my Eagles jersey. Yeah, so I'm working at this insurance company. I'm just hating life. I'm hating it. You know, it's not where I want to be. I'm about 20 years old. And I go home and I turn on the TV and it's a Tuesday, 6 o'clock, Sports Center, Philadelphia, or Sports Channel, Philadelphia, ECW's on.
Eastern
Championship Wrestling. And I tell you, I didn't know any wrestlers that were on the program. Yeah. The arena was probably half empty.
Yeah.
And I loved it. For some reason, it captivated me. And I remember I watched the full hour. And I said, join us next week, or whatever they said, you know. Yeah. It's like, okay. So I watched the next week, and then I watched the week after. And then about a month or two in, this commercial started running. And it said, if you want to be a wrestler, a manager, or a referee, call this number. Hello? I pick up the phone. I'd
like to talk to somebody about being a wrestler, a manager, or a referee.
I don't know anybody in the business. I don't know what the business entails. All I know is my job sucks at this point, and I want to get out. And I think like Sherry was there, and I loved her.
Sure.
Like she was like my favorite girl ever
Sherry
in the business.
Martel.
Sherry Martel. She was there. There were a couple Peaches, Sandman's wife. There were a couple girls there at this time, and I'm like watching them, and I'm like, I could do that. Okay. So it's simple stuff. I mean, really, who can, right? So I pick up the phone. Lex, I leave a message. Lex calls me back. Lex Ortiz, which is our ring announcer Bob Ortiz's lovely wife.
Hi, Lex.
We love you. We miss you.
Great people.
Yes. So she goes, yeah, we got your message. And I go, yeah, you got to go meet Todd Gordon. And I go, who's that? I don't know who Todd Gordon is, right? So she's like, you have to go to Jewelers Row. And I knew where it was because I worked in Center City. That's where my job was.
Right.
So I go, okay, so she gives me the address. You're going to meet Todd. I go, okay, fine. And I walk in. It's a pawn shop. My dad's waiting in the car in the parking lot because I didn't want to bring him in and look like a baby. So I went in by myself. Yeah. Todd denies this. He just called me a liar. But I remember his legs and his feet being up on the desk with his arms folded. He denies that and says that didn't happen. whether it did or didn't, he was still in this room. They walked me. There's all bars. I got to be buzzed in because it's a pawn shop. Yeah, and I'm scared to death. And the lady goes, "Oh, go down there and make a left," whatever it was. And he looks at me and he like kind of looks me up and down, and he goes, "Oh, you're a very pretty girl. You never have to bump."
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what a bump is. I go, "Oh, that's great. Thanks." You know, I don't know what it is. So like Stevie Richards worked there. So I think I might have met Stevie that first day. I can't remember if he was there or not. But I was supposed to train with Larry Winters, and our schedules did not work out. The days I can go, he wasn't available.
Right.
So then they put me with JT Smith, and he was great.
JT's a good guy.
JT, he's one of the best guys. He was, you know, he became a really good friend of mine, and I was the only girl there. So it was me and like 5 other guys, and it was JT, and then Stevie would come down and he would train during the day with us too. So I'm training and stuff, and then I was training, I thought, to be a women's wrestler at the time, because they had me, you know, doing drills and all the stuff and whatever. And then I had
Were they, jump into this,
yeah.
Were they doing any kind of differentiation between people that wanted to be managers or people that wanted to be referees?
No, not that I remember. I remember like they were like, "Well, do you want to be a heel or a baby face?" And I did something, and one of the guys goes, "Oh, she's a heel." Like just by the way I did something in the ring, like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna be a heel," and I was like, "Oh, okay." But I remember them saying, "Okay, you're gonna have a tryout match in front of Todd." So it was me and Angel Amoroso, and we put together like I don't know, it was like a 6-minute match or something. Yeah. And we do the match, and I remember I rolled out of the ring and I ran right to the bathroom and I threw my guts up, and it was like all bile. It was disgusting, and I'm like, "Nah." And I come out and I'm like, "Hey, Todd."
You're a wrestler, kid.
I go, "Hey, Todd, how was?" You know what I mean? Yeah, I got green bile dripping down my face, you know. And I guess he saw something in me, because he, shortly after that, Paul was coming in. So Eddie Gilbert was on his way out. Paulie was coming in, right? And they tell me to go to, I'm pretty sure this was the first night I met Paul, tell me to go to Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania. And I meet Paul, and they're like, they tell me, "You're going to win a fake beauty pageant. You're going to be Miss Montgomeryville." And I tell you, I went to Macy's, I bought the friggin' ugliest dress, and it wasn't intentional. It was like, I was looking at the rack, I didn't know what to wear, I wasn't sure what the gimmick was and all this stuff. I think it was black and white stripes, and I had all these white gloves. I thought it was so badass and sexy, I looked like an idiot, right? And I remember meeting Paul, and he said, "You're gonna be the timekeeper, you're gonna sit through the whole show, and then 911's just gonna come and grab you, that's your cue. Just gonna grab you by the hair, and drag you in the ring. He's going to give you the choke slam." And I said, "I don't know what that is. What is a choke slam?" And Paul goes, "Well, wait, you don't want to take the choke slam?" And I go, "No, it's not that I don't want to take it." I said, "I don't know what it is. We didn't learn that yet. Yeah. That's not there yet, you know." And he goes, "Don't worry. When he grabs you, you just go with it." So I'm like, "Okay." Well, that's what happened. Al grabbed me, and he did the choke slam, and it was like that white noise, like you heard, and then you heard nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm laying there, and I'm just like, "Oh my God, I don't know," like, because we sold like we learned a little bit, but it wasn't like I didn't go to wrestling school very long, to be honest with you. I was kind of forced, you know. After 2 months, I did my first indie show. Somebody said, "Oh, you want to do an indie show? I'll pay you $50." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" You know. But they put me on a stretcher, and they took me in the parking lot, and Stevie Richards, they told Stevie, "Drive her home."
Yeah.
And so I got in the car, they took me home, and I didn't know, like, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if that was good." Like, nobody told me. Stevie didn't say anything, so I didn't know, and I didn't get to talk to anybody. Yeah. So I was just like, "Oh, I don't know how this business works." And after that, I got a phone call, "Come back, we want you to come back." And that's how it was for probably the first year and a half. I was doing house shows for them. And just like sometimes I would be Tommy Dreamer's tag partner. Sometimes I would be invited and I wouldn't do a thing.
What year was this?
This is I started in 93. So I started doing shows for them in 94. And it just...
I'm a bit sketchy on that early part. When exactly did Todd Gordon buy it from?
The Eddie Gilbert, Joel Goodhart.
Joel Goodhart, yes.
Yeah, see, I don't know much about that. I always thought I came in during the transition period because I didn't know Eddie.
Yeah.
I only remember Paul. I never dealt with Eddie. Eddie was just like...
Yeah, he was there briefly.
Yeah.
You know, in and out, 1, 2, maybe 3 shows. It was quick.
Oh wow! See, I thought it was longer than that, but.
So once you're there, because to be honest, I don't remember you being there before I left and came back. The first time I remember seeing you was at Lost Battalion Hall in, what would it be, 95, 96. And you were sitting there managing the pit bulls. I didn't know that. You were sitting there, you had just a nice street outfit on, glasses, and you were reading a paperback book.
I used to wear sundresses, and I remember, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, and we'll go back to that, but I remember Mick Foley always saying to me, why can't you go out in these sundresses? And I go, you don't want me to, Mick. This is me. This is how I am, you know.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were somebody's girlfriend or, you know, because I don't remember before that having met you at any of the shows.
And I don't know why. If you were back there, we should have crossed paths. I mean, I was told to introduce yourself, so I would go around and say hello to everybody, but I don't know why. We were like two ships sailing in the night.
I think it was, I want to say August or October of 93 when I first went in, me and Terry.
So, no, because I was training, so I wasn't going to shows at that point.
Okay.
I started training late that year, and then I think I think I only trained for a good, if it was 2-3 months, it was too much.
Yeah.
I don't think it went too far past that. And then I was going, they said, come to this show, come to that show, you know, you're invited to, let's go to Atlantic City, you know, because I was there for that battle royal that we talked about.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we didn't.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
So, during that time, how many matches did you have with, or Stains, Amorosa, or?
So Angel and I worked together. Geez, we worked at Pulsations nightclub, and they called me Penny Pulsations at that show.
Yeah.
And we started wrestling a match, but Al came out and chokeslammed both of us like 3 minutes in. So we really didn't get a lot in that night. But right off the bat, Paul told me, I'm not going to use you as a women's wrestler. He goes, because they don't draw. Point blank, that's what he said. Back then, he goes, the women's wrestling will not make you money.
Right.
He goes, what will make you money is being a manager. He goes, and I will know how to use you. And he's like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? Yeah.
Famous last words.
I said, sure. I don't know any different.
Right.
And pretty much at that point, I was just learning as I went along because I stopped going down to the school and I was just doing stuff on the road to learn, and that's what happened.
In any of these matches, did you ever get, not hurt, banged up, something that might have made you go, hey, this is a little different than what I thought it might be?
You know what made me think that? Running the ropes, because I was completely purple.
Yeah.
And when I started training, I was 110 pounds, soaking wet. And I could not gain weight to save my life. Like I remember I was a receptionist, and Medusa was in one of the for Philly radio. She was doing the morning show once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was listening to her, and that's when I first started training. So I called, and I guess, I don't know, I got right through, so I don't know how many people were listening or whatever, but I got to ask her a question, and I told her this years later. I told her this, and it was funny. I said, I'm trying to gain weight. You know, what do you suggest I do? And she goes, eat rice. That was her answer, and I go, okay, thank you. and I hung up the
Lots
phone.
and lots of rice.
Lots of rice. She said, you know, when I was in Japan and I wanted to gain some weight, I used to eat rice. And I said, okay, thank you. And that was about it. But I ate like a pig and I couldn't gain an ounce.
The kid metabolism.
Oh, it was just super high. So when I would run the ropes, I would come home bright purple. My mom, see, I told you. You met my mother.
Oh, yeah.
I told you this is not what I want you to do. You should not be doing this. And like the first week I trained, I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, moms typically are not big fans of the business.
No, and she was right. I mean, technically she was right. 'Cause she always said when you're 40, you're going to feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And to this day, I hear that and I'm just like, you're right, Mom, I'm so sorry.
During this time, was there ever a point where, coming home and hearing your mother say that, being sore in bed for a week, that you thought to yourself, like, maybe this isn't what I want to do? Once you began to see a little bit more behind that curtain, was there a part of you that said, hey, this isn't my thing?
I didn't like the pain aspect because again, I was tiny back then, you know. But I kept telling myself like, there's got to be a bigger picture. There's got to be something down the line that if I work hard, you know, I'll achieve it. Because at this point, I'm really into wrestling and I'm watching all these other women in the sport, and I'm just like, I want to do what they're doing, but I want to try and do it better if I can. And I want to leave my mark on the business somehow, but I'm still so green, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm listening, I have my ears open, I'm asking questions, I'm observing, I'm trying not to get in trouble. It's a whole big deal. But the pain, like that was something that I found hard to deal with because I wasn't, not that I ever was a big pill popper or a big drinker, but when I first started, like I didn't know you could take like a Percocet and go to bed and your pain would go away, so to speak. I was taking 2 Tylenol.
Better you didn't.
Exactly, yes, and I thank God every day because maybe I wouldn't be sitting here if it was the other way around. But you know, I would take Tylenol and just lay there and it wasn't helping. You know, and when you're deep purple, you know, it would get to me, and I'm like, am I ever going to be able? I was a wimp, it's totally a wimp. But I'm like, it's got to get to the point if I keep training that I'll build up a tolerance. And I did, and we all did, because that's the only way you could, you know, get by. But that's the only part that really bothered me.